Okay, we're up to Chaf Zayin Amid Beis. Chaf Zayin Amid Beis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines in the bottom. Amar Rava. Says Rava, Nishba al Kikar. He swears on a loaf. He swears on a loaf. For Achla, and he eats it. So he swore not to eat a loaf. Now, he said not to eat a Kikar. For Achla, and he ate it. Im Shayr Mimenu Kizayis. If there's a kazayas of the loaf left over, nishal aleha, he can be shoyal on the shua, and he can eat the remaining kazayas. Mm-hmm. So again, he made a shua, pashtus not to eat, and the Gemara is going to ask, why is he not chayiv when he ate the kazayas the first time? But like, if there's a kazayas left over, it's mashma. As long as there's a kazayas over, he can be shoyal on the neder. As long as there's a kazayas left over, he can be shoyal on the neder, right? That's what's mashma. And the Gemara is going to ask, l'chayra, why? If he said the lashon that he's not going to eat, he should go ahead and right away. Should be what? It should be okay. Achla kula. Once he eats the whole thing, ain nishal aleha. Then he can't what? Then he can't be shoyal anymore. That would seem to be pashut, right? Well, not so fast. Now, hechidami, guys. Rava said two things. One, as long as there's a kazayas left over, you could be shoyal. You can take it off. May let. As long as you made a neder, a shua, not to eat, a kikar, and you ate leftover kazayas, you can take it off. On the other hand, if you ate the whole thing, then you can't. Good. Those are two cases. So on those two cases, in the case number one, if he made a shua not to eat, mikazayas kama avdeli surah. As soon as he ate a kazayas, I guess this is according to the chachamim who argue on Rabbi Akiva, who says a kol shu. Rabbi Akiva says a shua is kol shu, right? So this would not be like Rabbi Akiva. So as soon as he ate the first kazayas, he should be over the issa. So what do you mean he left over kazayas? And Ida Amar Shloach Lena, and if he said, I won't eat it, meaning I'm not chayiv till I eat the whole thing, my area kazayas. What do you mean a kazayas? Afilu kol shunami. So Mamad Shach, the Gemara doesn't understand the first clause of Rava. Again, what was the first statement of Rava? If you made a shua and you leave over a kazayas, you can go to a chacham to take off the shua. The Gemara wants to know, what lashon did you use? If you use the lashon, I won't eat, then you should be over right away when the first kazayas you ate. And if you said a shvua that what I shouldn't eat it, mashman the whole thing, then even as long as the kol shu left over, so why are kazayas? So the Gemara says I can answer you both ways. If you want, I can answer you. Shaloi achal. It's the shua said I won't eat it. If you want, I can answer you. Shleich lena. He made a shua not to eat it. If you want to say a shua, not to eat, right? Migu de mahanyale she'ela akazayas basra, mahanyale she'ela nami akazayas kama. Just like it helped, but the last kazayas, so too it helps to the first kazayas. What does that mean? Let's see Rashi. Migu, the second line down. Migu de mahani she'ela, the haki achle lekazayas kama. Once he ate the first kazayas, adayin kol zaysim sheba asurim alav. At that time, each and every zayas, let's say with 10 zaysim, when he ate number 1, so 2 through 10 are all asa. Umahanyale she'ela, and he could always go ahead and be shoyal on the remaining 9 kazaysim. The kivin initial, and since he could be shoyal on the latter ones, v'kaimulan we paskin chacham oike dava neder meikrai. There's oike limafreya. V'ishtakach lehavi sham shua klal. There wasn't a shua there at all. Hilcha kazayas kam ishtakach b'sura achle. What's your taina, guys? Guys, eye contact. What's your taina? Your taina is if you make a shvua, the share, and you said I won't eat from this kikar. The share of from is a kazayas. Said Rava, as long as you have a kazayas left over, you can be shoyal on the neder. Fred the Gemara, what are you talking about? You should be over as soon as you eat the first kazayas. Good. Now, how many kazasim do you have in this? No, we pick a number. We have 10. You have 10 kazasim, right? Good. If you could be shoyal on any kazayas, nimsa, you never were over on the shua, because the chachamim, when they take off the shua, it's not mikan lahaba, it's lemafreya. So you never had a shua. So memela, the first kazayas is not asa. Your taina was that if you eat the first kazayas, you're asa. It's not true. As long as I have other zaysim that I could be shoyal on, then therefore what? So that's what Rabbi says. Says Rava, because the mechanics of the way it works is you don't focus on the first action is not considered an action as long as the shua is in effect. That shua is in effect as long as I have a zaysim. I'm usher on every single zayas. Mimela, if in other words, once limafreya, you're going to go ahead and say, oh, I have a bunch of zaysim, you're shoyal. Mashenkin, if you don't have the share anymore to be shoyal on, then it's too late. That's Rava's first. That's Pshat and Rava's first opinion. Iba Yisema, let's see the Lashon. Iba Yisema, Shlayachel, he said a Shoya, Migu de Mahanile She'ela Kazayas Basra, just like She'ela would help on the last Kazayas, Mahanile She'ela Nami Kazayas Kama, it helps on the first one as well. Limafreya, it's going to be Oika. How we doing, guys? Good? The Iba Yisema, you could say it's speaking, Shlayach Lena, he made a Shvua, not to eat it, meaning the whole thing. Not to eat the whole thing. What Ishaya Kazayas? Okay, now what was the kasha, guys? The kasha was if you have a kazayas left over, you could be shoyal, right? L'chayra, even if you have a kolshu, you should be able to be shoyal, right? Even if you have a kolshu, why? Because you didn't eat the whole thing. Says the Gemara, Ishaya Kazayas choshev letshuli laha. If it's a chazayas, it's a shir choshev. If not, it's not chashiv. Good, it's not chashiv. So this teretz is even if you said the lashon of what of a shvur that I won't eat the whole thing, right? You need a kazayas to be left over because less than a kazayas is not chashiv enough to be shayil. Okay, so we answered both ways. That's Rav's statement. Okay, now Rav's statement was afilu achla kula ein nishal. If you ate the whole thing, guys. If you ate the whole thing, you can't be shayil. Is that pashit? Guys, listen to what I said. If you ate the whole thing, you cannot take off the neder. You can't have the shua, correct? So you think it's pashit, right? You think it's pashit. Good. Meisive, on that concept, Misha Nada Shtein Naziris, someone who, we had this yesterday, a person goes ahead and he's makabel to Naziris, Umana Rishayna, he counts 30, let's say he's not Naziris, 30 days. Umana Rishayna, he counts 30 days. The Hifrishaleha carbon, and he separates his carbon that he's going to bring for his Naziris. V'achkach nishol al Rishayna, and afterwards he takes off the first Naziris that he just counted. Also, like Shnia b'Rishayna. So what? The Shnia goes in place what? Of the first one, right? So what's the kasha? What's the kasha? You see over here, right? You see over here that even though the first one is gone, you could be shoyal. Guys, did he finish his first Naziris?
Yeah.
Fellas.
Yeah.
Did he finish the whole kikar?
Yeah.
Could he be shoyal on the Naziris?
Yeah.
So why can't he be shoyal on the kikar? That's the kasha, guys. One more time. Rava, we're asking on Rava's din. Said Rava, once it's gone, and you can't go be shoyal on it. I have a case in the Naziris that once it's gone, you could be shoyal on it. Good. And for the Gemara, he didn't bring his carbon. So no, since he didn't bring his carbon, the Naziris is still in effect. Therefore, he can be shoyal on it. Mashen came when we finished. Mashen came once he ate the whole kikar. There's nothing there. Yes. I don't know why you're busy with that. Yeah, you're busy. That's the second time you asked that. It doesn't make a difference, right? How does that answer it? Again, it doesn't answer it. You can be shoyal. You can be made for a neder. You shoyal on a shuahesh. It's a mechanic. You can take it off. A neder is in this chefza and a shoyal is in this gavra, but it does not nafkamina in how you. There's a nafkamina how you get rid of it, but you can get rid of it. There's an afkamina how a chacham gets rid of it rather than a husband. The husband gets rid of it. Mikan lahaba. They get the mafreya. But once you get rid of it, you get rid of it. Right. And in fact, in this case, I think they're both. Why would you say that a nazir is a neder rather than a shvua? Isn't a nazir just a gavra? Is pshat he's a nazir? He's also, or is pshat that it's also on him? I think there's lumped this there. Okay. Anyway, whatever. So guys, you hit a kasha. You see by naziris. You see by naziris, even after it's done, you could do it. So why does Rabbi say after the kik is done, you can't get rid of it? And for the Gemara, you didn't bring your carbon, so therefore it's still in effect. Vatanya Rabbi keeper, even after you brought your carbon, you could go ahead and be shayl on it. Says no, he didn't go ahead and finish. He didn't take a haircut. He brought his carbon, but he didn't take his haircut. For Rabbi Lezer, the Amar, and Rabbi Lezer holds the glachas ma'keves. Teglachas is ma'akiv from ending in naziris. In other words, you can't start a normal life. It's still asad to metamal amesim, and until you take what and drink wine until you take your haircut.
So if he shayl, he would have to bring a carbon. Right. At the point in time before.
If he shayl,
and didn't bring a carbon yet, or if he didn't do.
Correct. He wouldn't have to bring. Right. He wouldn't have to bring a carbon. Correct. Tanya Gilayach, Hitaka was Ravashi Naziris Karamis. Naziris, you're asking what? You're asking from Naziris on what? On Kikar. Mi garam l'shniya shlei tachal. What caused the second one not to be chal? Rishaina, the first one. Ve'ena, and it's not there anymore. Right? What caused it? It's not the fact that the first one was in place. Rashi, guys. Migarim l'shniya shlei tachal. Klaimar. Migarim l'cha loimar shehayamim hamenuyim loy l'shniya nimnu. What causes the first 30 days not to count for the next 30 days? El rishayna. Detema ozla la rishayna. Right. V'tikshi lach rishayna. Haysa garemis lach loimakain. So rishayna. The tema ozla la rishayna. The first one's gone. Udekashi l'cha rishayna haysa garemis lacha loimakain. Ve'ena. And the Chachamim took care of it. Is the fact that he was Mekabel the first Naziris is a Charata. V'akas a Rishayna meikara, and they take it off. V'nimtza minyan hamani shel shniya nimna. This one, the numbers that you counted for the first count for the second. V'kul Rishayna kati avikaima kisha nishal. And the first one's still around when you shoyal. Avokika shenishba aleha v'achla. So in other words, says Rav Ashi, guys, by Rishon, when you were oiked the Rishon, it wasn't shot that it was over. The second one was there. It was there. The first, you're still in the Naziris, so there's nothing to be shoyal. There's nothing to be shoyal. Masha'en came where what? Where the kik is gone, it is gone. So therefore, there's again the lashon of the Gemara. Naziris karamis migarim l'shniya shlei tachal Rishayna. Ve'ena, it's not there anymore, and therefore it'll count. Ameima Amar afilu achla kula nishallah. Even if you ate the whole thing, can be shayl. You hear this, guys? He's disagreeing with Rava. Afilu achla kula. Even if you ate the whole kikar, nishallah. B'shaygeg. If you ate it b'shaygeg, and you have to bring it out of v'yayred, mechus carbon. B'mezid mechus malchus. In other words, you didn't get your kapara yet. So Mamela, since you didn't get your kapara yet, you could be shayl. I'm wondering, fellas, how would you ever bring a carbon olive yairi then? If you can always be shayl on if you ate the whole thing, you're over on your shvua, right? Because you're not over in the shvua yet. You're not over in the shvua. There's certain cases where you're over in the shvua. I guess anyway. Guys, what is the Mema saying? A Mema is saying that even without this Torah, he's disagreeing with Rava. You could always be shoyal. As long as you didn't bring your carbon, you could take it off. As long as you didn't get malchus, you could take it off. But basically, you get malchus. However, aval kaftu ala amid, once you're tied up onto the stake to get malchus, loy, then you can't take it off. Why? Kiddush Shmuel. Dama Shmuel, kaftu ala amid. Once you're tied up in the amid, v'ratz mi bezdin potter. You might remember, fellas, that once v'nikla achicha, you were embarrassed. Once you were tied up, you're embarrassed already. So Mamela, this is like Shmuel, it's over. Once you're tied up, it's over already, and therefore you can't be shayl. but it's not a good comparison. Hasam Rutz, over there he ran, and therefore the Malchus, therefore it's embarrassment. Hachaloi Rutz, over here he didn't run, and therefore he's able to be shoyal on the shua. He's able to take off the shua because he didn't run. If he didn't run, then he's still not embarrassed yet. If he's not embarrassed yet, then he could take off the shua. Okay, that's the easy part of the daf. Amarava. Shvua shaloi oichel kikazu im oichel zu. He makes a shvua and says the following. This is a shvua that I won't eat this kikar if I eat this kikar. So fellas, what you have over here is a tanai in order for the shvua to be activated. I won't eat number 2 if I eat number 1. So number 1 is the tanai, and number 2 is the shvua. Okay? So Amar Rabbi shvua shlei oichel kikazu and oichel zu. Okay, so now I like to do the chart beforehand. It's going to make things much easier. Guys, I sent out a chart today. The chart should say at the top, key to the sugya. Guys, the chart should say to the top, the key to the sugya, okay? You have that? Yehuda, you good? Avrami, you good? You don't have a phone with you? You have it from last time? Maybe.
Didn't say key to the sugya in the first.
Huh?
Didn't say key to the sugya.
Oh, maybe it's my own notes.
Stick 1 and stick 2.
No, not shtick 1, shtick 2.
Yeah.
The other one. Not shtick 1, shtick 2. The one that says Mezid b'shaygei. Good? Now, the ones who have the phone should have the key to the sugya. Now, the key to the sugya is, guys, if the tanai was eaten b'shaygeg, it's not called the odnam b'shvua. Remember, it has to be ha'odnam b'shvua to go ahead and be engaged the possibility of an oil of yared. So, if the tanai was eaten b'shaygeg, there's no shvua. Guys, it's over. Guys, once the tanai was eaten b'shaygeg, there's no shvua. Because in order for the shvua to be in vogue, you have to go ahead and have the tanai. So now, if he was on the right side, guys, I wrote the first one's the tanai, and the second one is the issa. That's the shvua. Good. The first one is the tanai, and the second one is the shvua. So b'shoygeg, if he ate this b'shoygeg, what's the din? It's off. The shvua is not there at all. Correct? Because remember, what's the key? If the tanai was b'shoygeg, so let's go across the board. Since at the time of the shvua of the tanai you were shoygeg, then there was no shvua. Because if there's no shvua and you ate b'mezid the second piece, you patta from everything. You patta from a carbon and you patta from malchus. You know why? There was no shvua, period. Are we good? We good? Next. The next case. The first one, you were amazed, meaning I knew that this was the tanai for the other piece. I knew that. So once I did that already, it's a good shvua, correct? And then I went ahead and I was over the shvua b'shoygeg. So what is this, guys? Remember the shvua at the time of eating the tanai. Now it's no problem. You can eat it. You can eat the tanai, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But you had a halama on the issa. So guys, this is the classic oila v'yared. You had a yediyah, you had a halama, and then you're going to remember again. You did it b'shoygeg in the issa. You chayiv a carbon. Good. Case number 3. Tanai shoygeg, issa shoygeg. See case number 1. Yipata. Why yipata? Since the tanai was b'shoygeg, there's no shvua at all. Again, since the tanai was b'shoygeg, there's no shvua at all. Case number 4. The tanai was b'mezid. So once the tanai was b'mezid, guys, you're engaging the shvua, correct? Let's get bobblehead action. Once the tanai, you went ahead, b'mezid. So now you have what? You engaged the shvua. Now you ate this b'mezid. So you're not going to bring a carbon because the carbon is only b'shogeg. What's the question? Whether you get malchus or not, correct? Again, the shvua is engaged. Why? You ate b'mezid. So now, if tanai was first, Now you chayiv malchus. If the Tanai was first, if you ate the Tanai and then you ate the Issa, you chayiv malchus. Got it? Guys, one more time. You engaged the Tanai. B'mezid. You knew it. So now, on that second piece, do I have a shvua? Yes. If I eat it b'mezid, what are you going to get? Malchus. Good. Now, what happens if I eat the Issa first? Guys, look at me. If I eat the Issa first, there might be a shvua, there may not be a shvua. It's contingent upon my knowledge of eating the Tanai. If I eat Tanai, what? B'mezid, then it's going to be what? Yechayiv Malchus. If I eat it b'shoigeg, then you're off the hook. Good? So here's this question. I ate first. If I eat, again, if I do this b'mezid first, the Tanai, Yechayiv Malchus for sure on the second. Here's the question. What happens if I ate this first? The potential shvua. That's a machloikis between Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish. Why? This is hasra suffik, fellas. Guys, the issa on the second is hasra suffik. What's the suffik? Whether you will eat the tanai or not. Whether there's a shvua or not. If you don't eat the tanai, there's no shvua. But so when you ate it b'mezid, the question would be, is there going to be a shvua or not? So therefore, Rabbi Yochanan is of the opinion that hasra suffik shma hasra, you'll be chayiv. Reish Lakish, who holds hasra suffik lo shma hasra, you'll be pata. Okay, let's see this inside. This is the first half of the trek. Says the Gemara, Amarava, shvua shlo yochel kikazu. I make a shvua not to eat this kikar and moichel zu. So I have two shticks. I have two kikarim. One is a potential isser and one is a tanai. For achas rishoyne b'shoigeg, I eat the tanai b'shoigeg. V'ashniya b'mezid, and I eat the shniya b'mezid pata. Why you pata? Because once the tanai is b'shoigeg, there is no adam b'shvua. There's no tanai. No shvua. Rishoyne b'mezid, so now there is a shvua. V'shniya b'shoigeg, chayiv, you chayiv a carbon. Shtei in b'shoigeg pata, because once you ate the tanai b'shoigeg, you're off the hook. Shnei b'mezid, then achilasay l'tanai v'hadar achlei l'sura mechayev. If first you ate the tanai and then you ate the what, and then you ate the isur, you be chayev malchus avadai. However, achlei l'sura, if first you ate the potential shvua, which is not a shvua yet, v'hadar achlei l'tanaha, and then you ate the tanai which engaged the shvua, pluk to the Rabbi Yochanan Reish Lakish. Lamanda masra suffix shmasra, according to Rabbi Yochanan who says shmasra chayev. Lamanda malav shmasra pata. Good. That's the easy part. That's the easy part. Talin zu bezu. Guys, you hear this? What's the case? You made each one a tanai on the other. You had each one a tanai on the other. So let's break it out.
Two breads.
You got two breads. So look at it. This is now shtick one and shtick two. Shtick one. Yeah, shtick is a piece of bread, right? You got shtick one and shtick two. Okay, so now, guys, here's the first case. You with me? Yezodin atzma, meaning in the, you know that you're asa to eat it, but you're shoigi b'chavei rasa. So guys, what does that mean? I ate shtick one knowing that it's the tanai for shtick two. I ate one knowing it's usher if I eat number two. But I forgot that number one is tanai for number two. So I'm zodin ba'atzma. I know that there's a potential isser over here. I know there's a potential isser that what? If I eat this, I might be over in a shvua. But I forgot that number two is a tanai for me. So now what happens? And the same thing happens over here in shtick two. The guy in shtick two remembers that what? It's asa for him, but it's a shoyging on the tanai. So each one was a shoyging on tanai for the other one. So now, what's the din? This shvua, guys, is not possible. The second one, look at the shtick number two. When you went ahead, zacha not possible, since you were shoyging on number one. Guys, look at shtick one. Look at the tanai department on number one. Right? You see that tanai is a shogeg over there? Since your tanai is a shogeg, what's that rule of thumb? What's the key to the sugya? Once you're showing on the Tanai, so therefore there is no what? There's no when he ate when he ate over here the Isser on number 2, that person when he ate number 2, it's not possible. There's no shvua there. There's no shvua there. So what's the halacha? Let's go down. You don't get malchus for shtick. You don't get malchus for shtick number 2 because there's no shvua. The guy ate Isser number 2, right? There was no shvua. He ate it b'mezid. There's no shvua because there was a tanai on there was no shvua because now, but he ate number 2. No carbon al since 1, right? Because he was mazid on the achila. He was mazid on the achila. Why do you get this taina? That he was mazid on the achila over here. So memela what? There's nothing. Memela what? There's nothing. There's nothing over here. The second case is the more difficult case. Now, he remembers that it's a tanai, but he doesn't remember it's asa. So he remembers it's tanai for this. He remembers it's tanai for this. He doesn't remember it's the issa. So now, when he ate number 1, is the shvu in effect? Guys, is the shvu in effect number 2, correct? So then when he eats number 2, b'shoigeg, he's going to be chayav a carbon. He's going to be chayav a carbon. Take out the words no malchus v'zah. Take out the next few words. Okay. But however, fellas, fellas, there is in this case, in the second case over here, in the second case, there's no shvua. There's no shvua on shtick number 1. Since he was unaware of the issa, there's no adam b'shvua. Since he was unaware of the issa over here. In other words, regarding number 2, fellas, regarding number 2, you don't have to know. It's a shvua, you did it b'shogeg. But number 1, over here, there was no shvua since he's unaware of the issa. He didn't know there was an issa over here. He's a shoyging on the issa. Since he's a shoyging on the issa, there's no shvua. Since he's shoyging on the issa, there's no shvua over here. Okay, let's see it inside. First case. Says the Gemara. Tolan zu bezu. Vayachol zu and Michael zu. Vayachol zu and Michael zu. Vayachol zu bezadoin atzma. Vishigas chaverasa. Bezu bezadoin atzma. Vishigas chaverasa pata. You're going to be pata. Why? Because he was showing on the Tanai. Zu beshigas atzma ubezadin chaverasa. So this one he's a shoygeg on that it's asa for him, but he knows that it's what? It's a Tanai for the second one. Bezu beshigas atzma bezadin chaverasa. Chayiv. Then what? You be chayiv. What do you chayiv? You chayiv a carbon. Okay? You chayiv a carbon. That you chayiv a carbon for. I like to do the Rashi on this one because I'm not so clear. The right before it gets very wide, the line above. Kishachar Rishayna, when he ate the first shtick, he forgot that he forgot that he was sworn it that if he eats the second one, right? So in other words, he is a zacher on the Tanai, and he's a shoygeg on the Isser. Regarding his shvua, that shvua, it's not called adam b'shvua. Uka'achal shniya, achal shoygeg atzma, sheshokach shenishbal leha. Avazachu shenishbal v'shayna. He remembered that the first one was the Tanai. Ubachila shniya tola chayiv carbon ala shniya. Shari tola shvua love mitchilasa. Because he made the shvua on number 2 contingent on number 1, and number 1 the Tanai he knew it was a Tanai, and therefore you chayiv a carbon on number 2. Ukeshachla oival shvuasai shoygeg. Avol malchus are rishoin loy. You won't get malchus for eating the first one. Shemitchila lechal of shvua. This shvua was never chal, guys. It was never chal. Hilkach loy lucky. You're not going to get malchus. Loy karinim bei ein shav midiyasai. And we don't call it. Had he known, he'd be echel shniya lepaitra mikarbin. Mishum avorim laavor ala shvua. Shari ein meisizu avera. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but okay. So now, just looking at the chart one more time. So you're going to be chayiv, since he knew for sure that this was a Tanai for the second one, and the second one he ate, b'shoygeg, he's going to be chayiv a carbon. Masha'en kain, on the first one, he's not going to be chayiv anything because there wasn't a shvua. Like, what's the last two? Okay, he's pata, if they're both shoygegim, right? That's easy. Both shoygegim, there's no shvua, right? Once you're shoygeg on the Tanai, there's no shvua, you're pata. The last one, he remembers the Tanai, and it's usher on both of these things. So if he eats the first one, right? So if he eats the first one, the Tanai engages it on the second, and therefore he's going to be chayiv malchus for the shvua. Again, once this Tanai, he knew this Tanai was a Tanai for this, and it's Asar, he remembers everything, you're going to be over. Over here, it's a question. Is Hasras Safik if he'll eat the second one? And therefore the malchus is Toloi, and that'll be it's Toloi in the Machloikas what? Right? Okay, so that's the chart. Okay, look. Okay, let's finish it off. Stay in B'Shaygei, Potter, because the Tanai was never shvur because the Tanai wasn't engaged. Shnei Mesid, and the Tanai was engaged, and he ate the second one b'Mesid. Ashneim Mechayev Malchus, Arishayna Plukta, because the contingent upon whether he's going to eat the Tanai or not, and that's the Machlekes Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish. Good, guys. Okay, good. All right. Good chart. Without this chart, forget it. All right. In Amar of Mari, Afananami Tanina, we also learned a raya to Rava. Afananami Tanina, guys, is we also learned a raya to what? To Rava. Okay, what's the raya to Rava? That you toila shvua b'davar acher v'kaima tonight chila. You have to remember the shvua at that time. If not, the shvua is not chal. Again, what's Rava's din? That you toila shvua in something else, and you fulfill the tanai. You better remember that you remember the shvua at that time, and if not, the shvua is not chal. You have to remember. Okay, so where do you see that? Kid. Nidre shkagos. Ketzad. The Mishnah there in the Darim gives 4 cases that you pata. One of them is Nidre shkagos. Ketzad. Koinim. This bench is also to me. I'm just picking at something. It's also for me to sit on this bench. This bench is koinim to me. Im achalti if I ate. Vim shasisi if I drank. V'niskar, and he remembers sha'achal that he ate. V'shasa, and he drank. She'eni oichel she'eni shaisa. This bench is also to me if I don't eat or I don't drink. Shakach, he forgets v'achal v'shasa. Muta, he's muta. In other words, muta. V'tani Allah, kishem she'nidre shgagos mutarim, kach Shevuous shegagos mitarim. So what does that have to do with Rava? Let's see Rashi. Go down. Koinim she'ani oichel. Koinim alai dava ploini. Imani oichel hayoim. This bench is also to me if I eat today. V'shakach shvuasai. V'achel v'shasa. Muta boisa dava. He's muta to sit on the bench. Hainu de Rava. Shetzarach she'izachel in neder b'shas kiyam tanai. You have to remember the neder at the time of what? Of the kiyam tanai. So if you forgot the shua, that's Rava's din. You have to remember at the b'shas the kiyam of the tanai. And since you forgot at the kiyam of the tanai was what? Was the achila. Since you didn't remember the tanai, guys, remember that's the key to the sugya, right? That's the key to the sugya. Once you don't remember the tanai, there is so to over here. Once you don't remember the tanai, the bench is going to be what? The mutter. Very geschmack. Okay, we had 2 brothers. Aifa. You have 2 brothers over here. Aifa v'Avimi. They're both the sons of Rachba Pumpadisa. Now, Aifa is going to be asked a few questions, and Ravdimi and Avimi is going to give him a tough time. Let's see. Aifa Tani Shvuous Bei Rabba. Aifa learned Shvuous in the yeshiva of Rabba. Pogabe Avimi Achva. His brother Avimi met him. Amalei, and Avimi said to Aifa, Shvuah shlo yachalti, Shvuah shlo yachalti. You make 2 shvuahs, a shvuah that I didn't eat, a shvuah that I didn't eat. Mahu. Amalei, so Aifa answered him, Ein chayv el achas. It's only 1 shvuah. It's only 1 shvuah, guys, right? It's only 1 shvuah, so I only chayv once. Amalei says Rav Avimi to Aifa, Ishtabasht. You made a mistake. Hariyatza shvuah l'sheker. Shvuah came out l'sheker. When you get shvuah shlo yachalti, right? There's shvuah sheker, correct? So there's no shvuah for the second one to be chal on. So in Mela, you're over twice. Shvuah shlo yachalti, that's one separate shvuah. You're over it. Now you have, in other words, I thought that the first shvuah is still in existence, and therefore the second one's not chal. That would be future tense. Over here, it's past tense already. As soon as you said shvuah shlo yachalti, it's a lie. You finished with the shvuah. Therefore, when you said the second one, you're over the second time. That's pretty easy. No?
No.
One more time. Okay. If you say a shvuah shlo yachalti, do you have to wait to know whether you're over the shvuah or not, or right away you're over the shvuah? Again, your remembrance is not going to go ahead and make a difference. He had eaten. Shvuah shlo yachalti, and he had eaten. So that shvuah is finished. He said a lie. It's a shvuah sheker. It's a shvuah sheker. Mimela what? The shvuah is gone, but it was a shvuah. Now he says shvuah shlo yachalti a second time. The exact same thing. It's still there. So says Avimi to Aifa, it's not shvuah chala shvuah. It's only one. Each one's a separate shvuah, and therefore you would be chayiv for both.
Mishnah said shvuah shlo chama, shvuah shlo chama. The Mishnah said one.
What?
The Mishnah.
That's shvuah. That's a future tense.
Oh, that one.
This is past tense.
Okay.
Amalei. Okay. Shvuah shaloi oichel teisha ve'eser. He makes two shvuahs. I won't eat 10 figs. I won't eat 9 figs. I won't eat 10 figs. Mahu, what's the din? Mahu, what's the din? So Amalei, so Aifa told Avimi, chayiv kol achas v'achas. You chayiv on each and every one. You chayiv on each and every one. That's what he said. Chayiv Rashi. Chayiv kol achas v'achas. You chayiv on each and every one. Tol loymar, you made a mistake. One second. Yeah. Shloyachol tisha. Shtei shuas haya. Shua shloyachol tisha teinim. Because I'm a shua shloyachol esa teinim. V'yachol esa teinim. Yeh 10 teinim. Behelam echad and one alama. Mahu. Tol loymar. So he made a mistake. She'ena shua achroina v'chlal shua rishayna. Veins a shua chalal shua. He thought they were separate shuas. So says Avimi to Aifa back in the Gemara. Amalei yishtabasht. Eat tisha loyachol. If he didn't eat 9, esa loyachol. He didn't eat 10. Rashi, ishtabasht. The shvua al shvuahi. Shanishba shloyachol tisha nishba al esa. Once he made a shvua on 9, he made a shvua on 10. The chol kamad loyachol tisha loyasel chal esa. To get to 10, you have to eat 9. So therefore, what? It's only one shvua. Okay, it's the opposite. So Amalei Einachayv. Okay, now the other way. Amalei. So now he asked him, Shvua shloyachol esa v'tisha. First he said 9, and first he said 10, and then he said 9. 10 and 9 mahu. So Eif is not going to be fooled again. Amalei Einachayv alachas. Amalei ishtabash. He made a mistake. Esa hud loyachol hatesha mia achol. Let's see Rashi. All right. Ein el achas. Tol loymar shvua teisha b'chal eser lefi sheyesh b'chal eser teisha. Says no, hateisha mia achol. V'lein esru olav teisha rishayna. He said 10, and then he said 9. So therefore, when he said 10, he didn't automatically said other 9 or asa. Then when he said 9, v'chi achol teisha mechayiv mishum shvua achrayna. When he said 9, when he had said 10, then he said 9. As soon as he ate 9, he was over in the first shvua. Then he eats the 10th when he's over on the last shvua.
You know, for each one, or is it one?
No, you won't be chayiv each and separate one. Either one shvua or 2 shvuas. Either one shvuas or 2 shvuas. Okay. Rabbi. Sometimes we'll find Eifa's case like Kidamar, right? We'll find the case like Rabba. The Rabba, shvua shlei oichel te'enim v'anovim. You make a shvua, I won't eat te'enim v'anovim. So this is like 9 and 10. And then you make a shvua, I won't eat what? I won't eat 9. For achol te'enim, he eats te'enim, the hifish carbon, for the second shvua. V'yakach achol anovim, and then he ate an anovim. L'chudayu, have le anovim chatzi shir, v'chatzi shir le mechayev carbon. In other words, since he separated for the te'enim already, then now he says anovim, it's mashma that what? That anovim is a separate, is only part of a shvua, it's chatzi shir. Hachanami you're going to shvua shlei oichel esa, because of shvua shlei oichel teisha. V'ochel teisha, the hifrish carbon, and then he separated the carbon. V'yakach ochel asiris, and eat the 10th one. Havli asiris chatzi shir, v'chatzi shir loy mechayev. Chatzi shir you want mechayev. Let's see Rashi. V'achel teinin behelam shvua achroina, v'hifrish carbon, v'chazav v'achel anavim behelam shvua rishoina. V'kivan shehifrish carbon al ateinim, sulay mitztarfi anavim badai. You can't connect the grapes to it. Lechayu v'yashvu asa kamaisa. Hachanami shvu shlei oichel esa. V'chazav v'amar shlei oichel teisha, v'yochel teisha, v'hifrish carbon, v'chazav v'yochel asiris, havli asiris chatzi shir, and therefore you won't bring a carbon on chatzi shir. Geschmack.